Hey Phoenix Beauties, welcome back. My name is Natasha Baptiste. I am the owner of Phoenixology. We make bath and body products and more items that you can use for yourself as well as gift items. Today we're going to work on a melt and pour soap. I decided to take a quick break from making candles, and I haven't added a new soap to my website or to the line in a while, so I decided to go ahead and do that. And we're going to work on making a loofah soap. We're going to use a melt and pour soap base. So melt and pour soap bases are basically, they're already created for you. There are different times. There's shea butter ones. There are some that have oils in it as well. And I'm going to use a natural loofah, which is from the ocean. And you can get them anywhere. It could be on Amazon, in some of the Bath and Body places that you can buy your materials at. So I got this one from Amazon. It's already pre-cut. And I decided this round I was going to buy it pre-cut. Before I purchased it before, where I soaked it, I had to clean it out, and then I had to cut it. So it was just a little bit tedious, and I wanted to do something a little easier and not as time consuming tonight. So we're going to take these little loofah circles, and we're going to put it into a soap mold. You could buy these on Amazon or Brambleberry, and some other places that house the soap bases or the molds. And I'm going to make 6, so I'm going to go ahead and place it in here. Some of them still have seeds in there, so I'm going to take it out. So when you're doing melt and pour soaps, what you want to have on hand is definitely your containers, because you're going to melt them. You can either do a double boil method or you can do a microwave. For this, I used a microwave, and I melted these soap bases for about 30-second bursts. And I checked the temperature and made sure it was melting good and it was not boiling. You don't want to melt until it boils, because it affects the amount of suds you're going to get. Then you want to have a container of alcohol, at least 90% proof. This is to help with the bubbles and to even the soap out a little bit so you don't have as many soap bubbles. I'm definitely going to use fragrance oil today. I'm using a lemon fragrance oil from Candle Science. This one is lemon verbena, and I don't know if you guys can see that. And I'm also going to add a little color. So since I'm using lemon, I decided I'm going to make the soap yellow. So I'm going to make a yellow and white soap. This color came from I think this came from Candle Science as well. I can't remember, or Amazon. I can't remember. And I'm going to add about 2 drops. And it was already yellow before because I made a load of soaps before, and I just wanted to see how they came out and wanted to have some for you guys to see at the end of this project. And I'm going to mix everything together. When you're mixing 2 colors, especially if you're trying to swirl or you're trying to layer your soap, you want to be careful of the temperature. If it's too hot, then it's definitely going to bleed into each other. So you want to at least make sure it's at 140 or lower. So mine is approximately, actually it's at 143. And I'm going to keep mixing it. This one is an aloe-based melt and pour, as well as I put some argan oil in there. So you can use oils, additives, anything you want to add in your soap you can use. I've seen people use flowers. I tried that out when I first started, but one thing I noticed about the flowers is that after a certain amount of time they start turning with the melt and pour. It's preferable, if you're going to use it, use this for when you're going to have it for a short time. if you're letting your soap sit for a while, it's going to have some discoloration, and the flowers are going to start looking bad. So I prefer to make mine without flowers, or I may sprinkle a little on top where it's not too deep into the soap to turn colors. And that's only on like special occasions, such as making it for a gift basket or anything to that effect. I usually just play around with colors, and that adds the effect I want. So I'm going to mix my soap base. This one is, like I said, aloe mixed in with argan oil. So when you're using any type of additives or oils, you want to use no more than 3% when you're adding in 3% of the amount of soap that you have melted. The reason being, it can affect how the soap hardens as well as the lather. Now, some oils can help increase the lather of a soap, like coconut oil. It gives you gives you more bubbles and a more steady lather. Tonight we're using argan oil because I wanted something that's moisturizing as well as it increases the lather of the soap. So it's very good for the skin. It's rumored to treat acne. It helps with any atopic dermatitis, and it also helps, rumored, and I have to say that it helps as far as anti-aging or anti-aging properties in it. And over here I'm using goat milk. So of course everyone loves goat milk. You know, goat milk softens your skin. It's a very healthy oil soap base, and it's a good soap to use. Everyone loves goat milk. So I usually use shea butter, goat milk, different types of bases, and I blend them together, or I do them separate. So let's go ahead and put the loofahs in the container. I'm pushing them all the way down because I want the soap to show the loofah in the end. So hopefully these fit. They're a little bit snug, but I'm hoping that they'll come out okay in the end. So this is the downside to not cutting it yourself. You're going to get what you get when someone else cuts your loofahs for you. Ugh. So depending on how they turn out, I may add these to the store. All right. And I want to go ahead and spray a little bit of alcohol on it, because alcohol also thins out the soap. All right. And I'm flattening everything out. So keep your alcohol at the ready. And let's go ahead and add our fragrance oil. I'm going to add lemon in here, and I'm just going to go ahead and do about 2 of these. So depending on how strong you want your soap to smell will help also determine how much fragrance oil you're going to put into it. And we're going to go ahead and melt it and turn it and mix it into the oil right here, into the soap right here. So my soap is thickening a little bit, just with, even when I'm making candles, anything that you're making that you're adding fragrance to, the fragrance or the oil can affect how the product works. Sometimes it will actually thicken the products, and you may have to thin it out a little bit more. In this case, it thickened our soap base, but that's okay, because I'm going to be able to still pour it into the soap mold right here. So it will work perfectly. And this will also help keep the colors and the soaps from bleeding a little bit. Okay? So that will work perfect for me. So I've pretty much mixed everything together in the way that I wanted to mix it. Now, working with the goat milk, it can also cool pretty fast. The problem with the melting soap is when you cool, it makes it harder to work with because you get lumps and it doesn't pour as smooth. So we'll see how this works out. And I'm trying to shorten this video as much as possible. The last time I went a little bit crazy with the time. So let's go ahead and pour. And I'll put these spatulas down. I actually got these spatulas from, I think it was Walmart. And these glass containers, regular measuring cups, got it from Walmart. And I'm going to pour them together. If you're trying to mix two items together, sometimes it's good to pour them at the same time. And I'm just going to watch how they go. I'm trying not to get any lumps in them, but we'll see. So once I pour, then I'm going to spray because I don't want any bubbles in the soap. And I'm going to pour again. And it's not going to be perfect. That's okay. And then I'm going to pour. And just keep on pouring until you're finished, basically. And there's no wrong way to pour this. It's up to you how you want to pour this. If you make a mistake, which I seem to be doing tonight, it is okay. Because what's going to happen is once it hardens, or once it cools, you can actually cut off the odd pieces when it cools. And here we go. And then I want to do more white on this one, and then I'll do some yellow. And then just watch it blend. So even if some of my stuff may have, you know, the loofah sticking out, that's okay. Because even with the loofah sticking out, I don't mind it too much. Because some people like feeling the loofah. And then the last piece that I'm going to do, I'm just going to do it out a little bit yellow. And then just put a little bit. And you see how I mentioned how it cools pretty fast. So this one already thickened. So you can throw it back in the microwave and just heat it for about a 30-second burst and to cool it down. Now, while we're doing that, we have to also be careful. The part that I already poured may be cooling down. I don't want it to cool too much because then the soap will start breaking apart. So I'm going to go ahead and get it out of the microwave. And I just wanted to warm it up enough just so I could get a little bit out so I could start pouring. I'm going to spray it with the alcohol a little bit just to bind the soaps together. And then go ahead and pour. And you see how it's pouring out, just looking better now. Oops. I'm on a roll tonight. I am making a mess. But, you know, everything does not have to be perfect. So this is what it looks so far. And these are my containers. I have leftover and I could use some more. And this is the look of the soap. And I made some earlier that they haven't cooled yet, but let me see. I think this one might be good. So as I break them like this one out of, these are the molds right here. Let me move this out of the way so you guys can see this. I am definitely not going to edit this video and remove anything. You're going to see all my mistakes. And I'm going to show you what it looks. And this is the final look. So see how cute it is. It has the blend of yellow and it has the blend of white. And you could take like a little knife and smooth the corners. Like let's say the corners aren't smooth. You could take a, oops, it's not completely dry. So let me leave it alone. You could take a little knife and smooth it. And this is what it'll look. You still see the loofah in it. And then as you're using the soap, when it gets down to the loofah, you can feel the loofah, and it's gentle exfoliating. Just don't scrub too hard. And this is what it will look like. So some of them will look great. Some of them, you know, may not be that great, because the hardest thing to do is be distracted or do multiple things at the same time. So I try to just focus on one at a time. But you'll get different looks with your melt and pour soaps. Like this one is all white at the bottom, and then you get the yellow at the top. But you definitely get the loofah look. So let me see. Let's look at this one. This one should be good to take out the mold. Oh, not ready yet. So let's put that one back in the mold for now. We'll leave it just like this. You put it back in the mold and it'll cool out. So, but the beauty of melting soap, especially when you're doing handmade melting soap, you don't always know how your design is going to look at the end. But I will definitely make some more, and I'll be able to add it to the website. These I'll probably give away, but you guys get the idea. And I'm more of a, it's got to look right before I sell it. So I'll probably give these away as a free item to my friends and family, because of course they're always my guinea pigs. So as usual, thanks for watching. You guys have a great evening. Bye.